Pandit Nehru's response to him was, I will give you the rights on one permission, on one condition. Do not deify him. That is what we have done in India. He was too great a man to be deified. I got the same admonition when I was writing my thesis on Tagore. And as an avowed Tagore romantic, as most of us Indians are, I was in awe of everything Tagore. But this mentor guided me to explore Tagore through a critical lens. And lo and behold, a more nuanced and complex, at times even contradictory, but surely most compelling Tagore appeared. I never appreciated his humanity in all its facets before. It is our privilege to have my mentor, Dr. Dan Bivona, among us as our distinguished chief guest. Dr. Dan Bivona is an associate professor of literature at Arizona State University. He is also a Barrett's Honors faculty at ASU's reputed Barrett's College. He has published 3 books on 19th and 20th century British literature and culture, and also has an edited collection on the topic of 19th century and economics to his credit. His research interests include 19th and 20th century fiction, travel literature, the literature of empire, literary theory, 19th century sexuality, and science and literature. His recent research interest has led him, in fact, to explore the relationship between animal architecture and 19th century theories of mind. Beyond his distinguished scholarship on these wide-ranging fields and topics, Dr. Bivona also had an outstanding administrative career at Arizona State University. Within just a couple of years after moving to ASU from the University of Pennsylvania, in mid-90s, he became associate chair and later chair of the English department. After serving as chair of the English department for 2 years, in 2002, he became associate dean for academic programs in the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences at ASU. In 2004, he became the divisional dean of undergraduate programs and served in this capacity till 2007. But most of all, Dr. Bivona is one of the most gifted, learned, and committed teachers I've had at ASU. In my long association with him, his informed perspectives and his critical insights have opened up for me a radically new way of looking at not just literature, but also at literature's relation to history and culture. I was fortunate to have him direct not only my master's thesis, but also my PhD dissertation. His breadth and depth of knowledge on 19th century literature and culture have never ceased to amaze me. Every time I leave his office, I learn something fascinating and new about the 19th century. And this idea or perspective that I just gained is not part of any syllabus or class. As we celebrate the universal appeal of Tagore's literature, Dr. Bivona will make a few brief comments to provide us a broader perspective on how literature itself carries the potential to be universal. To provide this perspective, I invite here my mentor, Dr. Dan Bivona. I invite Dr. Naren Godbole, who will present a gift to Dr. Bivona.
Thank you, Bina. That was very nice. And I also want to say a word of thanks to Shri for organizing this really wonderful event. It's a fitting tribute to a great writer. I said that I'd make short remarks. I was asked to say just a few words about universality and literature I'll keep my remarks short on the assumption that we all share a universal desire that speech is unique and concise. There are few writers I can think of who better represent literature as a universal experience than Tagore, who was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1913. And he earned that prize in two ways, really: by producing writing that has universal appeal to readers all over the world, and producing writing that foregrounds the theme of universality within its pages. In literary studies these days, the post-World War II concentration on post-colonial literature has shifted somewhat, at least since the 1990s, to accommodate a broader, more universal category of literature that has been baptized by the critic David Damrosch as world literature. Damrosch's definition of this genre is alarmingly simple. To him, world literature is a category that includes, quote, all works that circulate beyond their country of origin. The genre includes post-colonial novels, of course, texts which dramatize and comment on the struggle with European colonialism. But it is much broader than that genre, encompassing a wide variety of literary texts, scientific treatises, travel narratives, and other forms, whose only common denominator is their appeal to readers all over the world. Tagore wrote some works that clearly count as post-colonial. Gora is the best known of these. It's in many ways a critical or subversive reading of Kipling's novel Kim. However, Tagore is best known for his engagement with universal themes, in particular with the issues raised by oncoming modernity that have been faced by people everywhere over the past 2 centuries. Perhaps the best known of the novelistic works, the novel translated into English as The Home in the World, carries on an argument about Swadeshi, which it seems Tagore was troubled by, although he clearly admired Gandhi. In a 1908 letter to a friend, Tagore said, quote, patriotism cannot be for our final spiritual center. I will never allow patriotism to triumph over humanity. That comment epitomizes the universalistic perspective Tagore always associated himself with. What does it mean to say that a work of literature has universal appeal? I would argue that for a novel, say, to develop universal appeal, it needs to ensure that its readers are able to engage with the themes and characters in such a way that the novel both moves its readers emotionally and captivates them intellectually. One need not be Bengali to be moved by the marital political dilemma in which Nikhil, the main character of Home in the World, finds himself. As readers, we can inhabit Nikhil imaginatively because we can imagine disappointments in love and politics that are analogous to his, even if we do not face exactly the same political and emotional dilemma Nikhil faces. To take a different example, one need not be Indian to be moved by the experience of the main character in the novelist Multicultural Anand's novel Untouchable. It is a novel that ends with a speech given by Gandhi that galvanizes a large crowd agitating for independence from Britain and freedom for untouchables. And the emotions and thoughts generated by that electrifying speech moved both the crowd hastening to Gandhi in the novel and the readers who get absorbed in the action of the novel, even if the drama does not exactly match their own experiences. In fact, I would argue that some degree of distance, historical, social, political, is necessary to generate full imaginative engagement of readers. And that is essentially what we mean when we talk about literature having universal appeal. Literature that truly moves us, captures our imaginations by opening us to a world that is not exactly our own, but it is like our own. Thanks again for the invitation to speak, and it's been a wonderful set of presentations. Thank you.